Hey guys, we're back at Abduction9 Productions, and we're here with Celeste and Zozer, of course. We just we had a couple more topics we wanted to talk about this time. Mainly what artists and bands influenced us in the beginning, and so we're going to start with you.
Okay. The artists there's several artists. Block Party, which I'll get into that in a minute, but Cree Summer. When she came out with her album, I think it was like 1999. And I had never heard anything like that before. My mom had that on blast. I listened to it from cover to cover. I knew every song, and actually I used some of her songs to do a project. I think I was like in 5th grade, and we had to write poems, and I used one of her poems or one of her songs called The Fall in my book of poems. I think I still have it. But that album, that artist really kind of changed and transformed how I looked at music, because it just exposed me to something I hadn't heard before, especially being so young.
Absolutely.
What you got?
Or me? Oh gosh, okay. See, when I was a kid, I was just a little tyke in the back of the minivan. My mom always played 80s pop music.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean it was like the heck is his name? Faith by George
Michael.
George Michael. There's a lot of George Michael in it. And that guitar, I was like, oh man, what is that? Being like 6 years old, and I like that. And then embarrassingly, there's another song back in the early 2000s. You know what? I might not even tell that one, but I don't know.
You tell.
Yeah, right. No, just these guitar parts would get me. It's like I really want to play the guitar. It just resonated with me. I needed to do that. So, but yeah, there's a lot of 80s pop, a lot of Prince. A lot of things like that. Real early on is what just kind of drew me in.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, yeah, what about you?
Biggest influences, I would say, grew up early listening to Public Enemy, hip hop. Hip hop, when I grew up, hip hop was kind of coming on. But Public Enemy was like an outlier, because there was a shift. People don't realize there was a shift in hip hop. It was like when they were walking down the street, and then Rakim came and was like smooth with it, and then you know what I'm saying. So there was an evolution of hip hop. And Public Enemy for me was like really a big part of that aspect of that, just the imagery, the lyrics. The consciousness, that was a big thing. And then I think in my later years, some of my friends back in Virginia got me on Bob Marley. And I listened to Bob Marley. I was like, I remember saying that one time I would listen to Bob Marley music, and they said, and describe it as like nature. It's like going out in the backyard and just listening to the crickets.
Right.
Yes.
Jordan's cats and rabbits running around.
Yeah, a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of cats.
Yeah,
exactly.
but nature. That's what the music sounded like to me. So of course, the lyrics and stuff. But performance-wise, I remember seeing Bono from U2 perform one time in DC, and he used to wear this makeup and this mask. He called himself like Manifesto or something, but he was a different character. And he came out there and he was like flipping around and dancing and all that stuff. I was like, yo, that's what it is to be like a front man. You know what I'm saying? So that influenced me majorly when it came to bringing it live.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Any songs from artists?
I'm gonna let you go first, Jordan.
That's a really tough one because it's not even really one song that. It's right. It was kind of the collective.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, my stepdad, Rob, he would always, in my early years, about 9 or from 9 to basically about 12, maybe 14. He was just like, it was always B.B. King. It was always, it was always Temptations and things like that. But a lot of blues though. A little Milton, B.B. King, Robert Cray, and all that. I just you know, putting yourself, he'd always say, no, put yourself out there, you know, play that lead guitar, man, learn these things, you know. The black influence didn't come until my stepdad came along. You know, but it was the older black influence, you know. It was
the best.
The best, right, exactly. So it was always that, and that's kind of why I don't really have so much of a hip-hop kind of upbringing, you know. It was always an R&B and blues and things like that, just kind of, so, you know. And, you know, The Thrill Is Gone, B.B. King, everything like that. And, so, and no one song, just an influence of a bunch of different things.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because, like, see, later on, once I started learning how to play music and listening to it, I started really understanding blues. Like, you know, Bobby Blue Bland, and my dad had a bunch of records, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I used to listen to them, and I used to be like, dang, but later on, I really started to understand the blues. The thing that got me about the blues, a lot of these people, that music, the good music, as we say, Soul Town, was not only the music, but the vocals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still today don't understand how Otis Redding sounds like he sounds. Sam Cooke. I mean, I don't understand how that comes out of a person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I guess we're going back to mine. I would say, song-wise, for some reason, I was always, still today, as you can probably tell my lyrics, you know, I'm always like conscious. And so there's one album I'm going to say, that Survival album by Bob Marley, in which, even though I don't think I was born at the time it came out, but between the lyrics and the social climate at the time, and somebody just have the balls to write lyrics like that when he getting shot and stuff like that. You can't. I mean, that's as ballsy as you can get. Absolutely. So that I love the music, I love the lyric, but also the respect, you know, that came along with all that.
Oh man, you know, when I first got here, I started looking up things like, it wasn't even just music. I started looking up voice actors and things like that, and also much older entertainers. Like I got really into Sammy Davis Jr. I know that's
legend. He's a legend.
No, yeah, but I started the way he would just entertain, just how would he handle the crowd, and then handle the band, and then dance, and then sing. And I'm like, Jesus, God, you know. I mean, and that's without. I mean, obviously anything modern, you know, no modern ways of recording, no modern ways of the way we do shows and things like that, but they still just killed it, you know, they still just owned it, you know what I'm saying, and knocking down a bunch of barriers and things. I just got really influenced by things like that, you know.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm happy you said that. Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it brief, you know, but I was one time, you know, I grew up on all that stuff. So later on, I remember watching. I was probably 20 years ago, but I was watching Beat It, you know, the video, and I saw like behind the scenes of Beat It, right? And they talk about how like the choreographer is one of the people in there, like one of the dancers. Yeah. And I'm like, Michael Jackson is singing, and he's dancing better than the choreographer. It's like, what can't he do?
Yes.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So he's.
Yes.
I think now people know this, but I think he played piano too. I'm not really sure.
Really?
I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But I think so.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you know, in the movie he had a whole studio, as a pre-production studio. So.
Absolutely. I got to see this. That's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Michael Jackson was of course a big influence.
Yes.
But I had one more. I might have to come back.
You got one, Celeste? You got another one?
A song that really impacted me, and probably mostly because it is really spiritual when you actually understand the lyrics, but it's Prince, Die For You. One of my favorite songs of all time.
Definitely.
That's that even you just saying that brings an emotion to
yes.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Even seeing the movie and Purple Rain and all that.
Yeah.
It literally, like, I almost teared up a little bit.
Yes, that's one of those songs.
Oh my God. That's another thing. You might not remember it specifically. Do you remember Computer Blue by Prince? I mean, that breakdown with the bass. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, that always just, you know, it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's interesting when you talk about Prince and Michael Jackson, because like I saw recently Prince was talking about like the difference between him and Michael Jackson. He gave all the love that Michael Jackson can give.
Yeah.
But he's like, Michael Jackson got Quincy Jones. He got all these people that said, listen, I made all this stuff myself. I play bass, I play guitar, drums, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he is the shiznit. But we in two you can't put us together. We two different animals.
Exactly. Isn't it so funny how like you'll see on YouTube all the time. Isn't it funny how Gen Z got to a point where they're kind of obsessed with Michael Jackson. You know, they started. I mean, you hear all his music on the TikTok, and then they're doing all the moves and things like that. He's just like he's bigger than ever.
Yeah.
You know.
I think. I mean, my personal opinion. I think there was kind of like a metaphysical connection to Michael Jackson.
Absolutely.
I honestly do. I think that he had something with him that the whole world saw. And that's why we're talking about him now.
You said it, man. He there's something, and Michael Jackson had something for the entire world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prince, he was a genius.
Yeah.
But Michael was on a whole nother level.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was definitely on the God level.
Yeah.
No takeaway from Prince.
Yeah. He was next level with it, to say the least. But I'm trying to think of something, because now rock wise, coming into rock stuff, I'll tell you I'll tell you a couple albums that really rock wise that influenced me. I heard the Ramones.
Oh yeah.
The Ramones, I write this in my book. But that was like the first punk rock I ever heard. Was Ramones. This dude named Chris Dorsey, back in Virginia. We were at Beach Week right out of high school, and he just played it.
Yeah.
And I just remembered they were playing it. It was like the greatest hits, like Beat on the Brat, and all of them songs like that, you know. Yeah. And I was like, every song was like, yo, this is dope, you know. So I was like, I never really heard something like that.
Absolutely.
So the Ramones was one. Obviously, Fishbone was a huge one for me, just because of diversity, and you know, I just listened to the reality of my surroundings a couple of days ago driving. I was like, oh my God, how did they do this?
Absolutely.
But there was another one I was going to say. The Ramones, that's how I first started. So then I kind of got introduced to Fishbone. But then I think I could say that. I know it's kind of cliche, but I think Bad Brains for me was. I think it was very. Once I got introduced to them and hearing the spiritual message, the speed of that and the lyrics. Cause I'm telling you, man, HR was a beast. He could sing. Yeah. He was an entertainer, and he was, you know.
Didn't they have punk music and then they slowed it down and would do reggae?
They did a bunch of reggae stuff.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I had my friend burned me a CD of theirs, and I was just like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, he said one of his biggest influences of his sound, because you listen to Smashing Pumpkins, there's a lot of and a lot of clean. He said he got that from Bad Brains.
Absolutely.
What do you think makes a song timeless?
Oh gosh,
timeless.
That depends on a few things. You know, it's like, I don't know. Oh, let me ask you something. What's the latest song that's come out recently that you consider timeless? Yeah, recently. Even the last 5-6 years, something like that.
Timeless.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah. Well, I can say this.
Uh-huh.
When we were talking, I was listening to John Lennon on the way over here. You know, I say that. Like, that's been a good example of a timeless song, because the message, the music, and the cultural impact. You know, those things. You know, I think might be three of the main ingredients for it to become timeless. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. And one song I can think of off the top of my head. You know, I listen to mostly instrumental music, so I know the artist, but I don't know the artist. Leave the Door Open. You know, that. Remember what I'm talking about? Leave the door open.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Bruno
Mars. Again, I listen to mostly instrumental music, but I think that song will be listened to for a long
Oh yeah,
time.
yeah. He's a pop icon.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's more, but for me personally, I think that song would be listened to for a whole long time. But it just has that kind of timeless feel to it. I think that's what he was going for, on purpose. But I don't know. I mean, my wife still listens to mostly 90s and early 2000s music. You know, absolutely.
Yeah, for me, when I'm driving with Sirius XM, I have 2 stations that I listen to mainly: The Groove and Soul Town. And you talking about like every other song's a timeless song. You know what I'm saying? Like for real though. And I didn't realize how much I liked until now that 80s funk sound, like Gap Band and that you know what I'm saying? That I was like, now since I can appreciate it more, that whole 80s funk R&B sound, But
there's nothing like that, man. That groove, man. And one thing I like about that funk music is that those guys can jam for seemingly hours on seemingly one chord.
Yeah. That's real talk. They do about 80 different techniques on one chord.
That's why I like James Brown. Is it's like they're on the same chord for like 5 minutes, They might change one thing here and there. It's just like, that's really great, dude.
It's like those entertainers, those people, like especially that funk stuff, like the James Brown and all, Earth, Wind and Fire, that type of stuff. Like again, like I was saying about the Sam Cooke, and it's like, how do you? I mean, what the hell? Man. What are y'all on?
Right. The influence that they had is just, oh my God, is something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing, they had a bunch of different influences. I'm sure they had. They kind of, it was like probably like a melting pot of a whole bunch of different things. It seems like now, a lot of when I go to work and I listen to the guys' music, blaring out of the car, how many influences did that music come from? It came from a lot, but it also did. Not all of the music coming out of the speakers there seems like it's influenced by a lot. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words really. It's hard to listen for it. It's hard to find, that timeless, unique thing nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I shut up when you asked me. I was like,
Okay, well, one song I think is timeless. It is an old song, but the Rolling Stones, "Give Me Shelter." That will always be relevant.
I gotta listen back to that one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Mostly because the lady who's doing the background vocals.
She was killing it. You know what? Here's some interesting. It's kind of off topic, but I guess maybe it's not. My karate sensei, he's 80 years old, right? He tries to give hip hop a hard time, and and I said to him, I was like, he just thinks it's all people mumbling and stuff and all that kind of stuff, which it today is. But I was like this, and I'm gonna tell it to him next time I see him. I just thought about this recently. Okay, Gil Scott-Heron, we all know who he is, right? He was the the revolution won't be televised, all that stuff, right? All right, so he's a poet, right? On top of music, you could take the Tribe Called Quest. Now it wasn't a live band, but they're doing the same thing, Yeah. You could take the Roots. It was a live band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really like, hip hop evolved so much once they started, like in the 90s, when they started using more jazz. What's his name? Old boy from Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called, was their producer. All that whole 90s stuff, when they started using jazz as major and R&B as major hip hop, hip hop just went like from just being here to
whole nother thing.
And then you got somebody like the RZA. Like I'm in I don't know why I'm in a Wu-Tang like for real like phase right now. It's been on shuffle, But I was listening to the RZA, his beats. He samples so many old music. Speeds it up, slows it down, and but if you hear it and you know the music, you like, that's where he got it from.
Oh man. Well, you come to all these examples, you know, but again, when I'm
Sorry.
We got 8 minutes.
You're coming up with all these different examples, but when I hear just what I call, what I only assume, you know, kind of generic hip hop things like that, you know, the trap beat kind of stuff, you know, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are listening to that, but you kind of go underground just a little bit. That's where you find the real lyrics. That's where you find the real influence. That's where you find all the music.
Not that pop stuff.
Incorporated into that. How do you feel like? I don't know. Do you feel like the hip hop is pushed the most? You know, it really isn't the.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
yes.
Yeah. To answer your question, well, here's what happened. Straight up, let's just keep it real. We all know this now. It got compromised. It got compromised from the time Professor Griff goes on. He wrote books about all this stuff, you know. But it got compromised because all the conscious hip hop was taken over, like Arrested Development, and then they brought in gangster rap because the private prisons came in the scene, and they wanted to make crazy music to influence the crazy people to put them in jail. Plain and simple, you know what I'm saying? That's a known fact. And not only that, they're saying that the daggone CIA was funding it.
Right. Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, like we were saying earlier, that's what you need to expect at this point. Just the craziest thing you could possibly imagine is all being exposed to being true now.
Absolutely.
You know, life, music, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're absolutely right. And man, we just really need. It's a whole other thing because I feel like we need to. Artists nowadays really got to take it upon themselves to really put the real stuff out there.
And that's what we do at Abduction9 Productions.
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we need artists like you. You know,
jump on board
and get on the stage. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Just need that platform, man.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, that's it for today. We're gonna go ahead and come up. Of course, go to Abduction9Productions.com. And if you want guitar lessons, you want to bass lessons, you want to come on and see if you want to make live music and bring it to the stage like we do. All you got to do is go to the website. What's the email address that you contact you at, or email and phone number?
Email, phone number. Well, you can get me on Instagram, jordan.cameron.180. And of course, email is jordancameron29@gmail.com. Or you can get a hold of Zozo or even Celeste and get with any of us, and we'll get you where you need to be. Absolutely. What about you guys?
That's it for me. We'll see you on. But we are working on our collective. Release soon from all us Abduction9 Production artists. We got my man Ima. We got Jordan coming out one. Celeste and I are doing a song, and she has her own song too. So you'll be seeing what we do. And we'll be hitting the stage consistently in the near future too. So stay tuned, follow, like, and subscribe, and we out of here.
All right, guys.